Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some Sunday night live chat. Holy cow, I don't know what happened to Facebook, but my Facebook computer just went whoa, 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 whoa. But it looks like we're back, and it looks like it's connecting, hopefully. But as always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. As you see me glancing back and forth between the monitors, that's what I'm trying to keep up with. Great group on here already on YouTube. Bill Wagaman is here. Charles is here with us. Matt's on. Jim's here. Alex is here. Pete's with us. Frank's on. Glad you guys are all here and ready to go. Neil's here with us. Great group on and ready to go right out of the gate. Scott, GDP. Great to see you guys all back. Kevin L., Austin. And you keep coming back. I guess that's a good thing. I guess what we're doing here, you guys seem to enjoy it or working with it. So I'm glad you guys keep coming back, supporting what we're doing here. Ken from Michigan. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook. We got a few people starting to pop up on Facebook as well. Dennis has made it. Bill Disk. And then we going to Allentown, PA. I'm definitely not. That's too far for me. Dad's here with us. Steel Ponies, Jeff's on. JP's here. Andy from freaking frozen Canada. Well, you can keep it all up there. We are supposed to be above freezing this week. I am keeping my fingers crossed because I am sick of the cold. The last couple weeks have sucked here. Not near as bad as you guys up north, but too cold for me. Lee from New York is here with us. That says hit the like. Appreciate that. Kenny's here. Nick's on. Yep, Jim, 5 from number 200 and about 3 weeks away from our 4-year anniversary, as crazy as that sounds. Almost been doing this for 4 years. And it's kind of crazy to think that we've been doing it for 4 years and we're almost to episode 200. So we've only missed 8 or 10 weekends out of 4 years. That's pretty good. So Tony's here with us. Sounds great, Brian. I'll be watching for it. Alan from Arizona. Andy's here to see Heather. Hey, I don't blame you. I wouldn't be here to see me. I can guarantee you that. Old School made it. Austin is thirsty and ready to go. 2 minutes in, we're ready to start. I don't blame you. There we go, guys. In fact, we'll just give you a double shot and let's get this show on the road tonight. 4 great years and many more to go. Well, we hope, Kevin. I hope you guys all keep coming back and hanging out. And we keep growing a little bit. Bill Discott promos. That's always a win. As always, a little bit of housekeeping. Autocorrect, please double check your comment before you hit send. If autocorrect changes it to something I can't understand, I will have to skip it. I do try to catch most of the comments. I do miss some occasionally when things get really busy. I do try to catch most of them, but please double check your autocorrect so that it makes sense when it gets to me. Austin's is busting open another hams. John from Texas here with us on Facebook. Show page, if you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, as always, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. So if you're on Facebook, you need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page so I can see the comments, or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Those are the only 2 sets of comments I can see since this is a shared video to the Nobody Show Facebook page. Trolls, we occasionally do get trolls on here. I ignore them. They want my attention because they can't get enough from their mommy. You guys do an amazing job of reporting them and making sure they know that they are not welcome here. Super chats are always awesome. And now we're dealing with ads. So we need to, we got to bear with the ads. YouTube is pumping ads into these lives. There's nothing we can do about it. You guys are great about letting me know when we've got a live or when we've got an ad, so that so we can back off for a second until we get through the ads. The ads have been notorious for kicking people off as well. So please, if you get bumped off, just remember we're taking a few seconds and letting you get back on and get caught back up with us. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to work around it. So you guys are great about letting me know when they are. I will give you a second to get through the ads or hopefully get back on if you get knocked off. So move the boxes in front of Heather's picture. Kevin's here. We're kicking along for the new year. Nick's on with us. Steel Ponies Jeff liked Jim Wick's videos. Great. Got some of those up on the shelvies. Leo's here with us. Hate to hear that, Leo, but glad you're here with us tonight. Nathan's Mopar Garage made it back. And so, like I said, 4 years coming up. Episode number 200 coming up. So it's going to be some exciting times. Alex stopped by the other day. It was good to see Alex Kalish on his way to the McPherson College Model T winter seminars. So he stopped by, picked up his auction winnings. So it was good to see Alex. And Toy Tuesday, I guess it's really not a viewer box because Alex didn't mail it to me. He just kind of grabbed an arm load out of his truck and carried it into the shop. So we've got some cool stuff for Toy Tuesday on the Alex non-viewer box, just the stuff that he unloaded out of his pickup for me. So we'll catch that Tuesday night. But it's good to see Alex. Went out the yard for a little bit and checked out a few more cars. So anyway, but what's been obviously one other thing I want to touch on real quick. I did talk to Pete again today about possibly doing a get-together about any emails he had gotten from anybody interested in attending a little get-together soiree out at the yard this spring. He's not had a ton of response, only about 10 people. So I'm still kind of waiting to see if we get a little bit more interest because obviously it's not going to be a ton of work to put it together, but if we're going to do, cook up some burgers or whatever, make some arrangements, I want to make sure that, we're going to at least have a handful of people here that are interested in coming. And I know this is extremely difficult. I know a lot of you guys live a long ways away. If it doesn't work this spring, what we will probably do, Pete and I talked about this a little bit today, maybe shoot for something towards the end of summer, give everybody a little bit more time to think about it, plan for it, things like that. So we'll see how that kind of comes together and see what happens over the next week or two before we make a final decision on whether or not we're going to do something this spring or maybe push it back till maybe a little bit later in the year. But anyway, what else is happening? Obviously, auctions. Kissimmee wrapped up. Barrett-Jackson fires up tomorrow. So we had a week off from the big auctions, and the Arizona auctions start tomorrow. Kevin, looking forward to more restoration projects on junk cars and tricks. I got more content coming all the time. So we'll see how that stuff works out as far as the get together. But the Barrett-Jackson's coming up. Kissimmee results. They did release Kissimmee results, and they were actually kind of staggering. And some of you may have seen this, but Mecum did release results from Kissimmee. Across the block, 4,383 vehicles rolled across the block. It's a lot of cars, a lot of vehicles. Gross sales, $275 million in 2 weeks. So, yeah. The third consecutive year that Kissimmee has done over $200 million in sales. It's a lot of cash. That's a lot of things happening. So, yeah, it's pretty staggering numbers. They, just for what Mecum does and the amount of vehicles they run, it's a lot. So, obviously, Kissimmee was very successful for Mecum. Barrett starts tomorrow. Cars start rolling across the block tomorrow in Scottsdale. What's going on in Scottsdale? I didn't look through what their sell-through percentage was. That was just the highlights that I saw in the email. I didn't dig through for anything else. Zach's here with us, Whiskey Business. But what am I going to be watching at Barrett? Well, obviously, like a lot of you guys know, our good friend Jim Wicks, he was at Kissimmee. He did say Kissimmee was not very pleasant. He said, you think going to Florida in January would be great. But he said the whole time he was there, and he was there for the bulk of it. He missed the first day or two. He didn't have anything the first couple of days. But he was there for like 10 or 12 days. And he said there was one day of sunshine. He said every other day in Florida for Kissimmee was wet and 15 to 20 degrees below normal and windy. So he said it was kind of miserable. Numero uno here. Number one's with us. Michael Glagola's on with us on Facebook. So he said Kissimmee was not fun as far as weather. You'd think Florida in winter would be great, but it wasn't quite so much. So I kind of agree with you, Scott. I do think, Mecum has definitely gotten much bigger than Barrett. Curious to see what happens with Barrett over the next couple of years since it sold out. You know, last year was the first full year under the new company's belt. Rusty's here. I do not plan on buying any smart cars, number one. I can assure you of that. 73 Buick man made it tonight. Meekum does a great job. There's no doubt about it. The new company running Barrett, like I said, remains to be seen. They have made a lot of changes, or starting to make some changes. They had Foreigner actually played an opening concert this weekend at Barrett. Obviously stepping up the entertainment side of it, but it's an entertainment company that bought them. So Mike Barger's here with us. So you've got an entertainment company that bought Barrett-Jackson. So how are they going to look at it? How to entertain people, how to get them in the door. So lots of different things, I think, coming in the future for Barrett. Are we going to see a lot more auctions? I don't know. Obviously, Meekum, pushing 20 sales. Kevin's here with us on Facebook. When you figure in the motorcycle stuff, the memorabilia auctions, Meekum has, and I agree, they've turned into kind of the juggernaut. They are massive. So it'll be curious to see what happens this week at Barrett. Jim Wicks, our good friend Jim Wicks, was flying down today. See what happens down there. Jim has 3 cars going Friday. 2 of them he's got a couple of Mustangs going that him and another guy own. And then he's got one of his own personal cars that is going to be selling next Friday afternoon. And it's a very interesting car. Discovery. Bill Wagman says Barrett-Jackson will be on Discovery. But on Friday afternoon, lot 1030.1, 1030.1, 1971 Mercury Cougar XR7 convertible. That is one of Jim Wicks's personal cars. Now, an XR7 Cougar obviously the XR7 was a little bit of an upper scale trim package for a Cougar. A little fancier seats, a little fancier dash, things like that, a few more creature comforts. However, this particular XR7 Cougar convertible was a factory 429 Cobra Jet non-Ram Air 4-speed in an XR7 Cougar convertible. So they made 5 of them. So not a very common car. Mike sold one at Meekum KC 5 or 6 years ago and was happy with it. Yeah, they run a pretty good ship. They really do. So you guys might want to check that out. Keep your eyes peeled on it Friday afternoon. They made 1,717 XR7 Cougar convertibles, but only 5 of them for 429 4-speeds. So it's a pretty neat car. The only one in this particular color combination. And there again, it was an XR7. So people typically didn't order a 429 and a 4-speed in an XR7. An XR7, you wanted the little fancier seats, the little nicer trim. You weren't necessarily worried about performance. Typically if you wanted the 429 and 4-speed, a base Cougar was plenty good enough. But this is a combination of the luxury package with the brute performance. So it's a pretty unique car. It also has a macaque in gold. It did do a gold at Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals a couple years ago. So it's a cool car. So check it out. 1030.1 rolling across the block next Friday afternoon. That is Jim Wicks's personal car. Jeff from Ottawa's here. 2 other Mustangs going through shortly before that. They've got a 67 or 68 fastback that is not an Eleanor car, but it's painted in the Eleanor colors. It's the charcoal and gray with, but it does not have a body kit. Resto mod, fuel injected, 5-speed, really good looking car, as well as a 66 fastback 390 car, I think he said. So be curious to see how that works out. Obviously, keeping our fingers crossed, pulling for our good friend Jim Wicks. Hopefully he has a good day next Friday, and hopefully he gets some cars bought for a lot of his clients this weekend. So, and I agree, Pete, and that's why I really like this Mustang that Jim is sending, because like Pete says, the Eleanor cars are way overdone, and they are kind of everywhere. Sam's with us over on Facebook. Alec from New Hampshire's on with us. That's what I like about this fastback that Wicks has. It's that color scheme, which is a good looking color scheme, but other than that, it's a regular looking Mustang. Doesn't have the ground effects, the fiberglass scoops. It's just a really clean looking fastback, fuel injected resto mod look type car, without the wild body kit. So I'm excited to see how that does for him. Zach got a 48 and a 49 North Carolina tag and a 62 Alaska tag. Alaska tags are always cool. Kevin had a chance about 10 years ago by his brother's XR7 4-speed Cougar and passed. Yeah. So anyway, be curious to catch some coverage from Barrett. One obviously big difference, Barrett is all no reserve. So whatever happens, happens. You know, obviously with Meekum, you know, the cars that have reserves on them, you know, sometimes you're not sure what's happening there if they don't hit reserve. But Barrett Jackson, when it rolls off the other side of the block, it's got a new owner. Did I get any 59 tags? I don't think I did. I think the only thing I got 58s. I don't remember if I got any 59s or not, Weston. Ooh. But based on just looking at this overall group shot, I don't think I did. I'll have to double check unless there's some in a stack. Any idea what the Cougar should bring? I can't. I mean, it's got to be a 6-figure car, I would think. The other interesting thing about it is there has never been one of those sell at an auction. Of those 5 429 4-speed XR7 convertibles, there has never been one sold at a public auction. So, and that's right, Alex. No reserve, but well-heeled bidders, and that's another good point. So who knows? There's never been one at a public auction. There's 5 made. They're kind of a different car. It's one of those cars that is super rare, but obviously not as desirable as a Mustang. However, on the other hand, you know, Jim sent a 71 Mach 1 429 4-speed out last year, that coupe that did 230. So even saying this one's going to be held back a little bit being a Cougar, you still can't, the car can't not be a 6-figure car being something like that of that caliber. You know, if you're a hardcore Ford guy and you want something that nobody else has, that's the type of car you get. So it'll be interesting, but we'll know next Friday. Kevin got a 78 Mustang 2 Cobra 2 T-top 302 automatic. Those cars are starting to gain a little traction. I don't know what the car is worth today, but being a Cobra 2 with a V8 T-top, it definitely sounds like a car that's worth doing because those cars are starting to gain some popularity. So, so yeah, a lot of you guys are kind of figuring the same thing. I can't see how it couldn't be a 6-figure car, but real curious to see how it does. He's owned that car for a few years, and so we'll see. It'll be interesting. Big Job made it. So we'll keep an eye on what happens at Barrett Jackson this week, and then we'll have something to talk about next week. Matt's dad had a brand new 71 Mach when he got back from Vietnam. Yeah, that's those cars are starting to gain some traction. That 71 and 73 has always been kind of an afterthought, but they're starting to gain some good ground. Hudson Badge. So anyway, what else happened this week? Well, as Alex kind of let some of you guys in right out of the gate, and what Weston brought up, I went to an auction on Thursday. Our friends at Car Auction and Real Estate, the guys that I'm partnered up with on F&E, on a collector auto auction that we do, they had a sale Thursday. I don't know, there was probably 10, 12,000 license plates, tons of old tractor seats. There were like 3 trailers of nothing but cast iron tractor seats, cast iron tractor steps, tractor toolboxes. It was crazy. So what did I end up doing? I ended up spending way too much money. So get ready for the auctions tonight. I bought 579 license plates on Thursday. So I am well stocked up on license plates. Now, what did I get? I tried to buy different stuff. I got some out-of-state stuff. I got some Ohio, some Michigan, some California, some South Dakota, some Illinois, some Missouri. So I've got some other states, and the Kansas stuff, and the bulk of the stuff was Kansas, but I bought a lot of early Kansas stuff. Almost all the Kansas I bought is 61 or earlier. I did buy some 60s and 70s Kansas stuff, but it's all weird stuff. I got a few new ones, low numbers, ham radio, D tags. Then anything newer than mid 60s, it's kind of specialized type plates. So still kind of cool stuff. So, yeah, 579 license plates that I picked up at the auction on Thursday. Appreciate it, Kevin. Glad you're hanging out with us. Yep, definitely check out what Zach's got going too. And of course, I got a few cans and a few emblems and a few other things. But I also bought something else in bulk. We all like grease caps, right? Who likes grease caps? Grease caps are cool. Early stuff. Cars aren't around anymore. Weird stuff you've never even heard of. So that's why we love grease caps. They don't take up a ton of real estate. You know, they're big enough to see, but they're not so big they take up a lot of room. So that's why we love grease caps. And I bought 153 grease caps. So not only did I buy 579 license plates, I also bought 153 grease caps. So needless to say, we've got some cool stuff. Any place from the Northeast? I'd have to look. I think I got some Pennsylvania from the Northeast. So anyway, I've got some of that stuff ready for tonight because I have to, because I spent way too much money. So I need to sell some of this stuff. Also, if anybody is local and can pick up and wants to buy their own collection, I also got some boards of plates. These are too big to ship, but if somebody was close enough to pick them up, this is 34 up to early 80s. There's 52 plates in that collection. I got that, and that I would sell that as a set if somebody were close enough to pick it up or willing to pay freight shipping on it because it's huge. So anyway, you guys are going to have a lot of fun tonight in the auction because I've got some really killer stuff. I've got a few, and I've got, a handful of grease caps and a handful of plates, a few more than normal. But we've also got, hold up, ads. Let me kill these ads. Okay. And it's not just caps and plates. I've got some cans, some regular hubcaps, some other oil cans. So we got some other stuff here that for the auctions tonight. So it's not going to be just that. But, man, we got some great stuff in tonight's auction that is a little bit different than what we've had in the past. Alan's here with us. So anyway, stay tuned because the auctions are going to be really fun. And if you guys want more auctions, just let me know because I got stuff piled everywhere in here. But, man, I was excited about this stuff. Demas, first car, 63 Sport Coupe, traded off on a 70 Torino. Bought the Fairlane back a few years ago. Nice. Glad you got – that's cool that you got it back. He's a Chevy guy working at a Chevy dealership, but I'm glad that it's cool that you found that old Fairlane back. That's cool. Number one, -20 with 3 more inches of snow before midnight. Just keep it up there. Auction on Toy Tuesday. Yeah, I need to. I got to do something to get money flowing after last Thursday. Hudson badge. Let's get the Auburn badge in there too. I knew I spent too much money, and when I got my bill, it was like 30% more than what I thought I bought. So yeah, I was like, oh. But it's cool stuff. And the grease caps, there's a few of them that are sets of 4, but not very many. So there is a ton of variety in the grease caps. Tons of variety. And like there's several Buicks, but there's like 3 or 4 different styles of Buicks. So even the stuff that there's multiples of, a lot of times there's different styles of them. So the grease caps are amazing. And I've got most of the grease caps already. There's a handful in there that I'm going to pick out, but 90% of those grease caps are going to get sold. The license plates, I only bought 2 license plates, I think, that I'm going to keep. The rest of these are going to be added to your guys' collection over the next several weeks and months. So it's exciting. Silent auction. Send me money and you get what you get. There you go. So anyway, let's keep moving. Let's get to the promo model. Let's catch some badges and emblems. Let's do a little story time. We're going to talk about the raffle. I'll refill the bonus raffle can. And then we're going to get into some of these cool auctions and finish up the magazines for next week. So let's keep on moving, and let's get to tonight's promo model. Demas is going to really like this, only it is 1 year off on tonight's promo model from Demas's comment on Facebook. Missed it by 1 year. We're going to back up to the 1962 Fairlane Coupe. The color nearest I could tell is Corinthian white. It does look tan, but when I looked at the color charts, Corinthian white almost did look tan in 62 for Ford. This is a really nice promo considering it's 60 years old. Front of it's in good condition. Bumper tips aren't busted off. Fender ornaments still intact after all these years. Same thing on the rear. The taillight lenses are still here. The tips of the bumper are not broken off. Very clean looking promo. Inside, you guys can see it does have buckets and console. All the original tires, wheels, and hubcaps. So this is really a pretty clean promo. There's a little bit of discoloration over here. I don't know if you guys can see it's a little bit darker right through here. But overall, it is in really nice shape. This being a Ford from the early 60s, once again, does have the promotional information on the bottom of it. So we're going to read a little bit of that, see what they were trying to sell you on the 62 Fairlane in 1962. Double yoke safety, door locks, easy, solid, tight closure. Some of these are kind of tough to read. Zinc-clad rocker panels and vital underbody members. Hot new middleweight with V8 punch. Overall length 197.6 inches. Wheelbase 115.5 inches. Self-adjusting brakes. Single unit body design. Fully illuminized exhaust. Luxury size trunk with 29 cubic feet. 36,000 miles between major lubes, steering, front suspension, and U-joints. 6,000 miles oil and filter change. So all that information on the bottom of the 62 Fairlane promo model. So obviously this is a nice little piece. Condition is great. Not the brightest, most attractive color, but still nice, shiny, considering it's over 60 years old. Good looking promo. Put it right there. We can keep an eye on it. Side view looks like a 63 Comet. Well, they were sisters, so or pretty close to it. I guess the Comet and the Falcon were sisters. So, but how about some badges and emblems? Our first badge tonight, we are going to go back pre-war with the narrow lower control arms for 62 still. I don't know if it said anything about narrow lower control arms or not. Yeah, it sure looks like it. You can actually see when you look at the bottom of it, it does look like it has the small control arms. So this week, starting off with our first badge, we are going to go pre-war. We used to do everything pre-war to begin but now we're just going to do 2 badges from 2 different eras. This year, this pre-war badge, to start off tonight, the 1929 to 1931 Oakland. This is an enamel badge. This one does have some chipping. Obviously, we're missing part of the red and part of the white. The majority of our blue is here. Now, Oakland, actually the senior car to Pontiac. Pontiac was introduced as the sister car to Oakland. However, Pontiac became much more popular than Oakland, actually overshadowing Oakland. And 6 years after Pontiac introduced, Oakland was gone. I believe they were sold together from 26 to 31, maybe into 32. And after that, Oakland was gone. So they were only together for about 6 years, roughly 5 to 6 years as Pontiac Oakland. So this one, like I said, a little bit rougher. No, it's just one of the typical enameling badges, but I don't think it's brass. Just metal with the enamel inlay. On the 29 to 31 Oakland badge. Now, they did have a couple of different sizes of this available in 29 to 31. Looks like a Buick badge. They were all divisions of GM already. They introduced GM decided to introduce Pontiac as the sister brand to Oakland. However, the Pontiac just got much more popular and overshadowed Oakland to the point where they actually ended up killing Oakland. So this was the ones that you had the button on the back. The button is broke off. This is a smaller badge. We'll give you a dimension on it. This is only about 1 3/4 inches tall. So a little under 2 inches tall and about 1 inch wide. This was a grill shell badge. Would have mounted on the front of the car, I believe. So the 1929 to 1931 Oakland is what we're going to start tonight off with on badges. Then we're going to move up about 40 or 50 years into the 70s, maybe into the early 80s. I believe this piece is new old stock. Does not appear as though it has ever been on a car. I do not have a box for it, but it sure looks new. And it came from that auction I went to a couple months ago where I got all the rest of those new old stock emblems we've been looking at. So this thing does look really good. I do believe it is new old stock, even though it does not have a badge. And it is not totally complete. That's right, Alan. Oakland was gone after 31, and Pontiac had the Oakland V8 and some 32 models. I did have 2 of those V8s over in the new yard. A guy came through and picked those up a few years ago that was working on some of those. They were a really weird V8 too. If you want to look at if you want to see some information on a weird V8, look up those 31 Oakland V8s. They were weird. The next badge we're going to check out, like I said, jumping up into the 70s, possibly into the early 80s. This I believe is new old stock. It does not show any signs of ever having been assembled because it is missing the base. And it was common for these to get broken off and stolen. So these probably were replacement parts for the late 70s, maybe into the 80s era Cadillac hood ornaments. These obviously stood up on the front of the car. They sat on a base. They were spring-loaded so that they would give away. This one, obviously, you can see where it has the hole where the spring would have hooked in. Condition on this thing obviously looks amazing. Does not look like it has been on a car or outside for the last 40 or 45 years. And then, of course, it came in those boxes with the other new old stock parts. So I am assuming that this is a new old stock piece. I don't see even if it had been hooked on here anywhere where it had sat on the base or from the spring hook. So all that still looks brand new on this. Both sides of this thing look just as good. Even the plastic's not faded or worn or scratched up. Motown jewelry, yep. So good looking piece. This one is about 2 5/8 from the base here up to the top, and about a little over 2 inches wide. So I thought this was a pretty cool piece too. Like I said, it's got to be new, even though I don't have the box for it. So that's what we've got for badges and emblems tonight. The Oakland and the Cadillac. Story time. Let's check out a car that Dad bought probably 30 years ago. This car ran and drove, and it had kind of an amateur restoration on it, but there was something really weird about it. Even when I remember seeing it the first time, it just didn't add up. And you've got to kind of know your Buicks to understand this. Is the Oakland a duplicate? No, I think that's the only one of those I've got. I'll have to double check and see, but I think that's the only one I've got. This 1955 Buick Super two-door hardtop, Dad found 30 years ago. This was a running car. He did just end up selling it complete. Model 56R 55 Super two-door hardtop. Now, what was weird about this car that didn't make sense the first time I saw it, if you will look, if you can see closely here in the bottom picture, you can see it. You can see the front fenders. Now, in 55, Super actually went to 4 portholes. It was the first year Super went to 4 portholes. But I can understand this one only had 3 portholes. It did have the Super headlight bezels. In 55, Super and Roadmaster used their own park lights and own headlight bezels. Special and Century had a separate small round park light. Super and Roadmaster had a kind of an oval park light integrated into the headlight bezel below the headlight. So I thought this was kind of odd that someone had actually modified this car, and I don't know why you would do it. They actually eliminated one of the portholes on this 55 Super two-door hardtop. So don't know what happened to the car. I mean, that was a long time ago, obviously, but it was not a bad old car. It was a kind of an amateur restoration. It would have needed to have been redone to be nice, but kind of a neat car. But that's why we do this. We look at this stuff. And you're right, Big Job. And in fact, it is the same body as a Big Ol's. 55, 98 would have been the same body style. So, well, that's what you would think, Dispatch. But it had the correct headlight park light combination, and the special fender wouldn't have fit anyway. It would have been different, but it had the correct park light and headlight combinations. So, and they just eliminated a porthole on both sides, and and that's right in the middle of the fender, where they eliminated the porthole. So who knows? Just kind of weird. So, but there again, that's why we do this. That's why we like checking out these old pictures of cars from days gone by, of stuff that Dad found years ago. And, hopefully it's still on the road somewhere. Some engineer that wanted to stay with 3 portholes. Yeah, probably so. Okay, let's talk about the raffle. Who's in? Who got into the big Buick oil can this week? And remember, we are doing an extended raffle because of, we ran December's into January, then we've got a short February. So we're going to go to the end of February on this one for the Chrysler grill shell with the shelves. You don't get the promo, that's mine, but you get the grill shell with the shelves for the first name out of the big Buick oil can. The second name out of the big Buick oil can is going to get a copy of Duesenberg SSJ by our good friend Angelo von Bogart. He has donated one of these books to this month's raffle. Now, something really cool happened. I posted this a few weeks ago. I forgot to tell you guys this last week. Angelo's book. We've talked about it on here. Some of you already have your copies in hand. This is my copy. But somebody else has their copy and actually made a statement about it. Anybody recognize that guy and his copy of the Duesenberg SSJ book? Jay says, finally, a great book about 2 of the greatest cars in American history. So, yep. So Jay Leno has his copy of the Duesenberg SSJ book. He said Alex doesn't even have an SSJ. He's got Duesenbergs, though, which is more than I've got. So Dirty's here with us. And once again, we're going to check something out in here like we always do. There's so much cool stuff in here. I just want to show you guys, share a tidbit with you every week as we go through the raffle. Brothers August and Fred Duesenberg. So lots of cool stuff in here. If you want to get one and you don't want to wait for the raffle, we are going to give one away. You can always order yours direct from Angelo at that email address or at diechasm.com. But Angelo was kind enough to donate one to the raffle, so we definitely want to promote his book for supporting us. So, and like I said, since we're doing an extended raffle, we'll grab a few things here. We'll do some bonus drawings tonight. We will also do some drawings at the end of the month for some license plates or something to kind of keep things moving. So we'll give away a few extra things throughout the month, throughout this period, since we're doing an extended raffle this month. So, but who got in this week? Who was in the big Buick can this week? Alex says it is worth it. Yeah, Alex has his already. Zach Thompson, Lee Carr, Austin McCoy, Adam Briggs, Randall Ellenberger. That's who got in this week into the big Buick oil can. And while we're there, hey, we'll give some of these away. Leo's here with us tonight. Leo sent me a case of these to share with you guys. I know a lot of you guys listen on headphones. We've talked about it. So Leo sent us a case of these to share with you guys. We're going to yank another name out of the can for a set of these headphones. And as always, any of these bonus drawings will ship with your next shipment, whether that's a raffle winning or an auction purchase. None of the bonus drawings ship by themselves. So let's draw for another set of these headphones, courtesy of Leo. And where'd the big Buick oil can go? We got one. Yeah, Lee Carr. Lee Carr. So let's write Lee's name on this box. Got Lee's name on that set. Big thanks to Leo for donating them. And as always, these bonus drawings do not affect you in the overall drawing. Right back in the big Buick oil can goes Lee. He's out for tonight, but he can still win any other week or even in the big raffle. So, all right, let's get an Auburn badge up there. And I've also refilled the bonus drawing can as well. We got all kinds of cool stuff tucked down in there. So we'll try to catch another one of those after a while. And with that, let's get rolling on some auctions. Who's ready for the auctions? I know I am. I got to pay for all this stuff I just bought. Austin's ready to go. All right, let me get a few things shuffled around here, get all my stuff rounded up. One of my oil cans rolled away a minute ago. Let me get everything gathered up, rounded up. Okay. All right. Looks like Big Job is really excited. Everybody's excited, ready to go. Kenny's got his knives out, ready to stab everybody. And as always, I'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that particular piece. We may talk about that particular car a little bit. I'll show you if there's any damage on the particular piece. We may give you some dimensions on it. As we're talking about it, describing it, looking at it, if it's something you're interested in, please go ahead and throw a bid up so I know that I've got interest in that particular piece. Once we get done with the description, I will put it on a timer. We will have 2 minutes. I just keep it on my cell phone. I keep it right here by the corner of the computer so I can keep track of it. Keep track of what's going on. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. Whatever the high bid that I am seeing when this timer hits 200, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, whatever the high bid that I see at that point is, I will declare the winner. I will announce the winner, and I will write it down on my handy dandy notepad here so I can keep track of it all. Bids in full dollar amounts only. Shipping is included in the 48 states on everything tonight. If you're a non-U.S. bidder, then please, you will be responsible for shipping to get it out of the U.S. as well as be responsible for getting me paid in U.S. funds. So we can, just if you've got any questions, you can always give me a shout. My number is in the text, in the description part of the video on both formats, both Facebook and YouTube. If you're not sure about what's going on, you see something cool and you want to bid on it, go ahead, throw a bid in out there and give me a call tomorrow and we'll get it figured out. That's right, Brian. No Bitcoin. I do not accept Bitcoin. I do PayPal, friends and family, check, money order. Some of you guys just send cash in the mail. Some of you guys pick stuff up. So it, whatever works, anything like that works. Just give me a call. We'll figure it out. It's not a big deal at all. But that's why my phone number's on there. As always, please, with your payment, let me know what it's for, whether you want T-shirts or anything else like that to go with it. And so I know exactly what everything is for. I'm missing something. I forgot something. I drew a blank. Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Like I said, we've got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of stuff that is very fresh from Thursday. Not everything, but there's a lot of it mixed in here. Very fresh from Thursday. Oh, and just, we were talking about those grease caps, guys. That's what we've got to choose from coming up. Oh, I knew what I was going to say because it just reminded me with an ad warning. So that's what happened. So I'm going to skip these ads, and ads is what I needed to talk about. If we see an ad, you guys tell me as soon as you see an ad, which you guys are great about. I stop the timer as soon as I see somebody post ads. Once everybody gives me the all clear, we'll give everybody a few seconds to get the all clear in case it knocks some of you off. We'll want to make sure that we get everybody back on. So we'll give a few seconds to get everybody regrouped, and then we will start the timer. I will tell you what the high bid is, and I will tell you how much time is left when we hit the timer to wrap up those 2 minutes. So that's what I was trying to think of. Fortunately, it tried to send us some ads. I was able to skip it, but it reminded me of what I needed to tell you guys about so that we can keep moving into the auctions. So let's get rolling. Starting off with, these are always great. You guys always love these. A big old map bundle. Starting off with Minnesota, Standard Oil Products of Minnesota. I'm going to guess 60s era on this one. Gulf, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa. Lee at 10, Tweedledee D at 5. Mobile, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. Conoco, Oklahoma. Got to be late 60s, early 70s based on that boat. As well as St. Louis Standard, and this is an earlier one, probably late 40s. Look at the graphics on this one. Killer graphics on that one. So this has got to be late 40s, maybe early 50s. So you're getting them all. One-shot deal. Leo starting us off at 10 on the map bundle. All 5, one-shot deal. And let's roll. We are live and on the timer. Leo at 10. Yeah, the ski vest too. So it looks like a 54 Packard to Alex. Yep, the crowns on the pump. Yep, I did notice those. All right. You know, on Cordless Tools, I bought some Harbor Freight stuff, and it actually hasn't been bad. I've got a lot of Milwaukee as well, but I bought some Harbor Freight stuff just to have for backups at the yard. And so far, that stuff's been halfway decent. I was kind of impressed with it for no more than it costs. I'm sure it isn't going to hold up like Milwaukee does, but for what it costs, if it holds up for a while, it's not a bad deal. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. There's 1 minute. 1 minute has passed. Leo at 10. Leo at 10 and Tweedledee at 5. Only 2 bids on the whole handful of maps. Coming up on a minute 30. That's it. Leo at 10. And there's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. Just about ready. We're about done. That may be it. If somebody doesn't shoot here pretty quick, that might be it. And that does it. Leo at 10. That was it. Unless there's stuff hung up in there, that's could be a problem too. Let's catch an oil can. This is just kind of a mid-range quality can, but it's a pretty neat can. It is a composite, but there's no barcode on it, so it's probably late 70s, early 80s. And it's kind of neat. It's Sunoco and DX on the same can. So check this one out. I like this one. It's got good colors. It is composite. It is not a steel can. But it's great having the dual logos on it. Special long mileage 1040 motor oil. It has an old Walmart sticker still on the top of it. Tweedledee at 10. Bottom of it is still intact. Recommended for all new vehicles. Meets or exceeds all manufacturer's requirements for new car warranties. Distributed by the Sun Oil Company of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, PA. Dennis at 25. Let's get this thing started. I thought these were neat. For a composite can with the dual logos on it, I thought this was a pretty good can. So Dennis at 25. We are live and on the timer. Those Walmart stickers are super old. So it's cool. It's got good colors. It's a neat looking can. Dennis at 25, and we are ticking away on the timer. Red DX pump signs. I don't know if I've got any left that I'm going to sell. I've still got a few, but I don't know if I've got any duplicates. I think I've sold all the duplicates that I had. I would have to go through what I've got left and see if I wanted to sell any more of them. Rusty Oakie's here. Yeah, I think Walmart's been around since like the 60s. Yeah, but I've sold some since then, Austin, so I don't know what I've got left on them. 1 minute. 1 minute has passed. Dennis at 25. 1 minute left to go. I had like, between the gold and the red, I had like 13 of them altogether. But I've sold most of the spares off. After I kept what I wanted and Dad got some, I've sold most of the rest of them off. So I'd have to see what I had left on them. Dennis at 25, coming up on the minute 30 mark. And there's a minute 30 seconds left to go. Dennis at 25. Zach at 28. About ready to wrap this one up. Zach at 28. Dennis at 35. Zach at 37, and that does it. Whew, Zach got that in about 158. Whiskey business at 37. All right, we're going to do a pair of oil cans. Oilers, actually. Pair of Oilers. This bigger one does not have a name on it, but it's got an amazing look to it. Leo at 15. Joe's here with us on Facebook. Hopefully better this week, Joe. We're supposed to be above freezing most of the week. Scott's here with us. Just got home on Facebook. Does still have the original top. Still unscrews. This one. Yes, you could just about stab somebody with that. It's about 3.5 roughly on the diameter and about 6.5 high. Now, its little brother, Kevin at 20. Its little brother actually does have a name on it. This is actually a sewing machine one. It says Singer right on it. So it's a cute little booger too. The top does still unthread on it as well. So you're getting the pair, the big brother and the little brother, together on the super cool old Oilers. Kevin L at 20. And let's go. We're live on the timer. You're getting the pair on a one-shot deal. Leo at 21. Big Job remembers his mom having one. 73 Buick man remembers grandpa having them. Brian at 22 on Facebook. Kevin L at 25. Pappy at 22. I've got Kevin L at 25 right now. And there's the 1 minute mark. And that's right. Like Rusty Oak says, they're still useful. You know, you can still use them and they look cool. So Kevin L at 25, a little under a minute to go on these cans. Oh, Leo's reloading. Oiler Tin Man, that's exactly right. There's the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 26. Coming out of the wire, I've got Leo at 26. Kevin L at 30. And that did it. Kevin L at 30. Just cool little deals. I still like those. All right, let's keep moving. Let's start off with the first grease cap. We'll do a common one to start with, and we're working into some really cool grease caps tonight. I got a handful of them tonight. We'll start off with one of the more common ones, and we've done something similar to this of the old school Ford Model T. This one has a great script, dings and dents around the outside perimeter, but man, the Ford is just nice and clear. Ford made in the USA. That is stamped into there. The cap itself, dings, dents. It's got a crack in the backside of it. These were threaded, so they could screw on. This one is, because there are some different sizes of these. It's about 2 inches tall. And it's actually about 2 inches in diameter as well. A little under 2 inches across the hex on the model on the front part of it. So there again, kind of a cool little piece. Tony started us off at 10. And we got some killer grease caps coming up tonight and for the next several months. Leo at 15. Let's get this thing boogieing on the Model T grease cap. And some of these other ones, you guys are going to flip when just the few I grabbed tonight are going to be pretty exciting. And trust me, I definitely had to make darn sure I had a few of these before some of these other ones to make sure I had them, that I have in my collection before they went into the auction box. So Leo at 15. We are rolling away. We're up to about the 30-second point. I've got Leo at 15. Got to keep an eye on our friends on Facebook over here as well. Actually, Brian, there is one in there that I think might be 6-speed special. There's 3 or 4 IHs. 1 minute is past, 1 minute left to go. There's two of them that are the same that I don't think are, but there is one that I do think is a 6-speed special. I think I've got 1 or 2 clobbered ones still on truck, so I'm going to go out and check that one and see if it is, because I've sold everything that was even remotely decent off all of my 6-speed specials. But that's why there's one in the box that does remind me that does look similar to a 6-speed special, but I need to confirm that. So there's minute 30. A minute 30 is past. 30 minutes. Minute 30 is gone. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 15 on the Model T grease cap. Ticking away and coming down to the wire. Leo at 15. Zach at 16. Rusty Okie at 18. Tony at 22. And that does it. Tony at 22. Alex was at 20. And then I hit 2 minutes. And then I got Rusty Okie, Leos. But Tony at 22 is who I had at the 2-minute mark. Don't worry, guys. We got so many cool grease caps coming up. It's amazing. All right, the first plate for tonight. Let's catch the first plate. We're going to start off with some more common ones, but we've got some killer plates tonight too. So the first one, we haven't done a lot of these because this year is tough to find in decent condition. The 1960 Kansas. Leo's already started off at 10. If it's decent, Leo's in at 10. We've done a few 1960 Kansas plates, but they're a white background with blue letters, and they're just hard to find in nice condition. This one's not perfect, but it's pretty darn nice. Nice gloss, good finish, good colors on the numbers. The back of it even still looks pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's been used. Well, it's got some surface rust up here, so I can't see where the screw scratched it, but it's got some surface rust, so I'm sure it's been used. On the 1960 Kansas plate, white blue background. This is stamped in, not cut out. It is all an embossed stamp plate. So let's get this thing rolling. I've got Leo at 10 on the 1960 Kansas plate. We are live and on the timer and ready to go. Republican County. I believe that's right. I think it's Republic County. Austin at 12. Leo at 15. Yeah, you're right. That's the nice thing about plates. They got good colors. They're easy to hang. They look great. 1 minute is gone. 1 minute left to go. Leo at 15 on the 1960 Kansas plate. Michael at 22 on Facebook. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Michael at 22 on Facebook. We're ticking away. We're coming down to the wire. Michael at 22. Few seconds left. Any snipers out there? Has Michael got this one wrapped up? Matt at 24. Austin at 25. And that does it. Austin at 25. Leo had a 26 in there, but it was too late. Austin at 25 is who I had at the 2-minute mark. All right, I'm going to get another grease cap out. I got 4 or 5 of them tonight to start off with, so this one is this one's cool. This one I definitely double checked to make sure I had it before I threw it in the auction box, because this thing is great. It's got a dent in it and it's got some wear to the finish, but we've never done one of these. I think I've only had one before I got some in this batch here. But this is a great looking cap. Kenny's at 10 already, hasn't even seen it. Mike from Texas is here, which, trust me, Kenny, you're perfectly fine. Long story on how this company came to be, but an amazing cap. Great. The font is great. The layout is great. The wear to the finish almost makes it pop a little bit more than it normally would if it were just all nice and bright and shiny. Not quite sure on the year on this, but it still looks great on this Durant grease cap. I love this thing. I think it's just nice. It's clean. The outlines, the font, it's just a nice, clean, crisp. Tweedly D at 30. Let me give you some dimensions on this thing real quick. Justin's here with us. The Durant cap is about 3 3/4 across. 3 3/4 across here. And it's about a little under 2 inches deep. So let's get this thing on the timer and then get caught up with bids here, because we've got a slug of them coming in. And it looks like Alex at 45 is our high bidder on the Durant cap at this point. I just hit the timer, so we are live and ready to go. Pete at 60. Told you guys I had some cool stuff in here. I hope you're not disappointed, because I'm pretty excited. I think these are great. What's the history behind the name? Billy Durant was part of GM. He got kicked out, started his own company in a nutshell. But that's kind of what it was Billy Durant, William C. Durant, actually started this company after he was kicked out of GM. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Pete at 60. Minute left to go. Durant founded GM, lost it twice. He started again in 1921 by setting up Durant Motors. Alex at 65. There's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 65. We're ticking away. We're coming down to the wire. What's going to happen? This one might get interesting. Alex at 65 with a few seconds left to go. Any snipers out there? And that did it. Alex got it at 65. Zach came in at 67, just a second too late. Alex at 65 on the Durant. All right, like I told you guys, I got some other states on some of these plates as well. So let's get a different state plate in here. You know, typically we do Kansas, but I was actually managed to get some different stuff this time and some earlier stuff going back to 1951 for our friends from Ohio. This one has some surface rust on it. I believe it was supposed to be blue. It's kind of blue on the back. And it does look kind of blue here, but it's all faded. It looks like it was blue with white numbers. Kill these ads here. So, kind of a different font. It is an embossed plate. This is all stamped in here and then painted. Size on this one, since it's something we're not familiar with. Whoa, come back here. It is 12. It is right at 12 by 6. So very similar to a lot of the plates. 12 by 6, 1951 Ohio license plate. So who's going to kick us off on the Ohio plate? I don't know if you guys like these other state plates or anything like that, but like I said, I wanted to mix some of them up. So we're on the timer. Pappy at 10. I just hit the timer just as Pappy threw that 10 out there. So we are live and we are going on the 1951 Ohio plate. And I'm kind of trying to, I'm trying to kind of give you guys an overview of some of the stuff I got with some of this and some stuff that you'll kind of ideas of what may be coming because there's a lot of it. Pappy at 10, the only bid on the Ohio plate. Maybe you guys don't like Ohio plates. I don't know. Alex at 25. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go on the Ohio plate. I've got Alex at 25. And there's a minute 30. Minute 30 has passed. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 25 on the 51 Ohio. Leo at 26. Just about ready to wrap this up. Leo at 26. And that does it. Leo at 26. Matt came in at 27, just a hair too late. Tony at 27. They were shooting for you, Leo. They were just hung up there. We'll go ahead and catch one more plate real quick. This is one, we've done one of these in the past. Zach at 31. Lots of bids hung up in there on that one. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. But ham radio plates. We've done one or two of these before. I did end up with some more of these. They're all different, of course, different colors, different years. But the ham radio plates where the operators have their, I don't know, Alex knows. Alex does ham radio. So does Brett. You guys are both do ham radio. I think this is like your call sign or something was actually on your license plate. I mean, as we can see the shine on this one, it's a 1974. The orangish red paint looks pretty much brand new on this thing. Back of it looks nice. It has been used. It did have screws in the top of it, so it was used at some point. But man, look at the shine on that thing. So, standard size plate, once again, roughly 12 by 6 on the 1974 Kansas ham radio operator plate. It's your call sign, and they are custom order. Okay. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. See if we got any ham radio fans out there. Matt at 10. Tweedledee at 10. Austin at 10. Austin at 15. Justin, my cousin on Facebook, he's ham radio as well. KC0LBH is Justin's. Tweedledee at 18. Pappy at 18. Alex at 30. Actually, I kind of get your point, Kenny. A ham sandwich doesn't sound half bad right now. Let's see if we can see. How's this thing looking in there? See, look at that. We can see the timer in the reflection of the plate. And there's the 1 minute mark. Alex at 30. Zach at 35. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Zach, Whiskey Business at 35 on the ham radio operator plate. Yeah, JP said, don't you mean hams? That's a good point. Coming out of the wire, Zach at 35. Few seconds left to go on this one. Green eggs and ham, Sam I am. Zach at 35. Tony at 36. And that does it. Tony snuck that 36 in there right in the last few seconds. Zach came back at 38, but it was too late. I've got Tony at 36. All right, let's slide a can in here. We'll get away from plates for a minute. But man, you guys, we got some good plates coming tonight. Some good plates. Let's squeeze a can in here. This thing looks amazing other than a little bit of wear on it. It is a metal can, all steel. It is a quart for Xerex DuPont antifreeze. Beautiful can. It's just part of the Z is missing over here. This was full. I drained it from the bottom. Steel can. You can still see the seam over here. Do not have a 72 in tonight's dirty. I can try to get some in for next week. If you want a 72, I can try to squeeze some of those in. So this Xerex quart, we can see the seam over here. It is an original steel metal can. Has a protection chart on the back. Great colors. The gold is extremely bright. The yellow stripe. The DuPont with the blue, two-tone blue Xerex. No 55s tonight. So I'll make a note on some of these plates that you guys want to see and see if I've got some. And let's get rolling. This is a standard size quart. I don't know what I've got for Oklahoma. I don't know if I got any Oklahoma plates or not. I got to check and see. 5.5 by about 4. So your standard size quart on this Xerex quart can. So 56 F100. Alan started us off at 10 on the Xerex quart. Let's go ahead and get rolling on this thing. And I'm going to keep mixing different plates in every week. So the plates that are left, we are backing up tonight on years. Leo at 12 on the Xerex antifreeze and anti-rust. I do have these in gallons as well, but not for tonight. I just got a quart tonight. I really don't remember if I got any Oklahoma plates. I'll have to check and see. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute's gone. Leo at 12. And there's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. 30 seconds left to go on the steel metal Z-Rex antifreeze court. About ready to wind this one down. Leo at 12 on the court. And that does it. Leo at 12. There's Austin at 14. Allen at 14. Just didn't get there in time. All right. Check this out. We all love these ashtrays, tire ashtrays. This one's a Firestone, if you can see that right there. This does have a little note taped in it. It just says Firestone 6x18 heavy duty tire is what this one is. Does have the ashtray with it. Along with this one, I've got another one that doesn't have the tray anymore. So I'm just going to throw this one in. This one does not even have a brand on it. Or yeah, it does here. Well, did have a brand on it. Can't even make it out anymore. So you're going to get both. You're going to get the Firestone ashtray. Now the Firestone, we can make out the letters on this tire. They are still there. We can see the Firestone in the bottom of the tray. So that one is complete. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this extra tire in case you've got an ashtray you can drop in it. You're going to get both of them for one shot. Alex at 25 is our high bidder at this point. 3 or 4 bids there, but Alex at 25 is our high. But I'm just going to ship you both of them since I don't have the tray for this one. So let's get this thing on the timer and let's get rolling. Alex at 25 on everything in my hand. Both tires and one ashtray. Pappy at 27. Frank at 35. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute past, 1 minute left to go. That's right, Rusty Okie. They had ashtrays, no seatbelts. Addie and I were going through a box of stuff we got here a few weeks ago, and there was an ad in there for a cigarette brand. I need to find that. I need to dig that out so we can check it out. And it was the this brand of cigarettes says smoked by more doctors than any other brand. It's like, okay. 1 minute, 30 seconds is gone. 30 seconds left to go. Frank at 35 on the tire ashtrays. Frank at 35, past the minute 30 mark. About ready to wind this one up. Zach at 37. Leo at 36. Few seconds left. Zach at 37, still the high bid. And that does it. Zach at 37, Whiskey Business. Leo came back at 40. Yeah, I need to dig that out. We found that it was pretty hilarious. But it literally was something like smoked by more doctors than any other brand. So, or recommended by doctors or so. It was crazy. You laugh, but the doctor in 79 delivered Big Job's son with us while he had a cigar in his mouth. What else we got? Oh, we'll do something a little bit different. You guys may not even like this. We may not even get a bid on it. I don't know. We'll see it. Well, I'll hold it up and show it to you. And if we don't get any bids on it, we'll just skip it. It's a little bit different. I know, some of you guys, maybe your wives like kitchen stuff or decorator type stuff. If they're into that, that's kind of where this falls. So I'm going to show it to you. If there's no interest in it, it does not matter to me. I just thought it was something different to kind of squeeze in here and see if you guys liked it or not. So this is another 10 for tea rings from the Southern Biscuit Company, Richmond, Virginia. So you guys tell me what you think. If there's no interest, no, it doesn't bother me at all. Just something that looked kind of neat, had great graphics. It's a little rough. It's kind of banged up. It's got some scuffs, some scratches in it. It is a metal can. You can still see the seam there. And has a great shot of the factory here. It does still have what appears to be the original lid. It is snapped still on there. The bottom of it is still intact. Made in our modern light sanitary plant. Getting to the dimensions, Alex, that was my next thing. 6 inches by 4.5. Just a hair under 6, 4.5 high. So, the Southern Biscuit Company, it looks like FFV tea rings, Southern Biscuit Company, chocolate chip tin, Charles chip tins. So, a dainty, crisp, spiced cookie, delicious with desserts, iced tea, or ginger ale. So, okay, we've got some bids on this thing, so apparently you guys do like it. Let's see what we got. 5 on 5, 10, 20. I got Alex at 20 is my high bidder at this point. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. Alex at 20 is my high bidder on the tea rings can. So we're live. We're ticking away on this one. And we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. Alex at 20. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alex at 20 on the tea rings can. Coming up on the minute 30 mark, just about there. A minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 21. 30 seconds left. Leo at 21. I think that's what it was. Looks like you got something in front of it, but I think I got Leo at 21. As we're coming down on this one, we're ticking away, giving down to the wire. Leo at 21 on the tea rings 10. And that does it. Leo at 21. There was Randall and Alex all in there at 25, but it was too late. Leo at 21 is who I had at the 200 mark. All right, we haven't done any emblem or ornament type stuff, so let's squeeze a horn button in. This is a great looking piece, except some of the silvering is gone out of the back of it. This is well, it's not technically a horn button. It's like a steering wheel center for about a 4950 era Plymouth. I want to get some sunglasses out for this thing. Check this out. Now, we've got some paint loss right in here in the back side of this. The ship should be silver. We still have a lot of the gold, but the ship should be silver, which you could probably repaint because you can get right to it right here. This is embossed. The ship is actually embossed into the plastic, so you could put silver paint back in the back side of that. The chrome, obviously, the chrome housing looks amazing. The plastic is not broken and still looks good. It just has some paint loss on the back side of it. It's about 4 inches in diameter. And like I said, I think it's 4950, maybe 51-ish era on the Plymouth steering wheel center, horn button, whatever. Still a cool looking piece with great chrome. It does have notches where it goes around the steering wheel, so it is not perfectly flat all the way around the side, but it's still a cool looking piece. Tweedledee at 15, Zach at 16. Let's go ahead and get this one rolling. Oil or automotive advertising on screen door pushes? Not really. No, I really haven't. Tweedledee at 20. Backlight it. That's a good idea. So I've got Tweedledee at 20. We're live and on the timer on this Plymouth horn button. Randall with a Nut Farm at 25. Still cracks me up that Randall logs in with a nut farm. I don't know how anybody shows up at this show would be called the Nut Farm other than like everybody. Taking away, I've got the Nut Farm at 25. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Johnny's Nut Farm. There we go. Everybody's sitting on their thumbs. I don't know if that means the snipers are waiting or what, but we're going to find out here in 30 short seconds because there's the 1:30 mark. 30 seconds left to go. Randall with a Nut Farm at 25 on the Plymouth Steering Wheel Center. Ticking away, just about done. A few seconds left. Nut Farm at 25. Zach at 31. And that does it. Zach snuck that in there at 31. Whiskey Business. Nut Farm came back at 32, just a hair too late. Okay. Oh, I got something cool for you guys. All right. I told you I had some out-of-state stuff. I told you I had some early stuff. This thing is super cool. This one I really debated on whether I was going to keep it or sell it, but I spent too much money. I need to sell some of it. So this is, I'm going to throw this one up for you guys. It is cool. It is different. It is early. It's got a little bit of damage, but it is a killer plate. Leo at 10. Don't even care. California. Hold on. I got ads. Okay, I think I got those. California, 1945. Kenny at 15. Check this thing out. It is broke out at the bottom on both sides, so that is damage there. Tweety at 20. But other than that, this thing appears to be all original. CAL 45. Zach at 35. Obviously, the back looks pretty good. Obviously, all stamped and embossed on this 1945 California plate. I haven't seen one either. I think it's super killer. I was excited about it and thought that you guys would appreciate it, and definitely kind of a different piece. Dean at 40. So a pretty cool piece. And let's go ahead and get this. Oh, let me give you dimensions on it real quick because it is kind of a different size. Almost 14 by 6. It's just a tick under 14 by 6 inches tall. Zach at 41. Alex at 55. And let's get this thing on the timer and get rolling. Like I said, I seriously debated keeping this one, but I was like, I bought too much stuff. I got to move some of it. Alex at 55 on the California 45 plate. I have not seen the American Rod Shop guys yet, number one. Or I Spiders. Have not seen any of those guys yet tonight. Unless they just jumped on and didn't say anything. So, but as always, I appreciate all the number one support of throwing that out to those other guys and all the rest of you guys that share this stuff around and bring new people in to hang out with us. It's always great that you guys support what we're doing like that. Alex at 55. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute is gone. 1 minute left to go on this killer 1945 California plate. Perfect. Some of the ARS guys are here. That's awesome. Glad you guys are hanging out with us. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 55 on the 1945 California plate. I don't know if Alex knocked everybody out or if everybody's sitting there hiding, waiting to fire their shots. We're going to find out here real shortly. Zach at 59. Whiskey Business Zach at 59. Few seconds left. Coming down to the wire. Zach at 59. And that did it. Zach got it at 59. Alex came back at 62. All right. I'm excited. I'm just because I think this thing is just that great. So. Yeah, number one, my cousin is on Facebook for Fireball's Garage. Yep. Okay. Let's do a regular cap. Zach's bank account hates him. This thing looks pretty good. It is a Ford. It's a little bit different. I don't know that we've done one just like this or not. 40s era. Couple things in it. Definitely get your sunglasses out because this puppy shines. Check this thing out. It is a stainless cap. I think it's late 40s, but check this thing out. Holy cow, look at the shine on that. It's got a few dings, some scuffs, some scratches. The blue in here does appear to be original, just chipped out over the years. Like I said, it is a stainless cap. It's got a steel ring around the perimeter, but a good-looking piece. Got kind of the wings on it, kind of like they had on the signs. Leo's completely blinded. And it is about 9 3/4 in diameter across the whole face on this one. 9 3/4 in diameter on the Ford cap. Super shiny. Let's get this thing rolling. Alex at 25. It is. That's about what it is. Demon says looks like it's 47.4, just right, and that's what I figured. It was right in that area. Great idea, number one. Invite 2 friends for Tuesday and 2 more for Sunday, and maybe invite somebody yet tonight. That's awesome. And you guys are great about that, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys do believe enough in what we're doing here to invite your friends and to have them come over and enjoy what we're doing here. So that means a lot that you guys think that what we do here is important enough that it's worth recommending. So. Alex at 25 as we come up on the 1 minute mark. I don't know if he scared everybody else off or if everybody just wait until the end or if he blew everybody out of the water. 1 minute's gone. 1 minute left to go on the Ford cap. Super shiny. And coming up on the minute 30 mark, and no other bids yet. There's a minute 30. A minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 25, the only bid out there so far. Coming out of the wire, Alan at 26, Rusty Okie at 30, Pete at 33. Big Job at 35. Rusty Okie at 35. And that does it. A ton of 35s, and I had Big Job first at 35. Zach took a late shot at 39, but it was too late. Out of all the 35s that hit, Big Job was the first one. $35 apparently appears to be the number. I don't even think Alex knew what hit him on that one. Those things came in so quick at the end. All right. Let's get a few more grease caps and license plates squeezed in here. This next grease cap, not totally sure. I'm not positive on this, but I think this is a Hupmobile. It's a basic H. It's probably a Hupmobile or Hudson, but for some, I just got something's telling me that this is a Hup. Check this thing out. Just a basic plain H. We've got the hex shape around here. We've got a wide base that actually sticks out even wider than the threaded area. This is obviously thread on like most of them. Kind of a plain basic looking one, but a kind of a cool one because of that. Just basically the plain H. Like I said, Hupmobile is what I'm thinking it was, but I'm not 100% sure. If somebody else on here knows exactly what it is, that's great. But like I said, there's so many of these. Number one says he thinks it is a Hudson, so it could be. It's Hudson or Hupmobile, I'm sure. It is about 2 1/8 across the hex. And it's about 3 3/4 all the way to the outside diameter on this one. And about 2 inches tall. It is tweaked a little bit. You can see it's down a little bit on this one side. On the H cap, Hudson or Hupmobile. Alex said he thinks it's a Hudson as well. So we'll call it a Hudson or a Hupmobile, one or the other. All right, let's get this thing rolling. On the timer. We're live. What's anybody think on the H cap? Hudson or Hupmobile? Alan at 15. Alex at 30. Frank at 30. Randall's getting thirsty. Good idea. I got Alex and Frank both hung up at 30, but I don't think that's going to last long. Nope. Alex at 35. Pappy got to head over to American Rod Shop. We'll be back. Great, Pappy. Hope to see you back soon. 1 minute's gone. 1 minute left to go. And I got Alex at 35. Tony at 31. That must have been an old bid hung in there because I had Alex at 35. I got Michael at 38 on Facebook. Michael at 38. There's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left to go. Michael at 38 on Facebook. Nut Farm at 40. Tony at 39 and Nut Farm at 40. Pete says it is Hutmobile. Okay, he must have found it. Pete says it is Hutmobile, he thinks. Michael at 38. Tony at Nut Farm at 40 is my high bid. Few seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 40. Tony at 41. Nut Farm at 45. And that does it. Nut Farm at 45. Alex came back at 50 a little bit too late. Nut Farm at 45. Okay, what's next? What's next? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, we got some great stuff yet. All right. Who's ready for a great license plate? I mean, the last one was pretty good. This one's even older. As a matter of fact, it's 100 years old. 101 years old, actually, on this 1923 Kansas. Does appear to be original paint. Check this beauty out. Woof. I think it's kind of an off-white. We look at the back, we can see the kind of off-white there. It has some browning to it, it looks like, just over the years. And I believe the numbers were all supposed to be black. They do look black. They don't look like a dark blue. So 101 years old on this Kansas 1923. This is a little bit longer than our standard size plate. Alex at 55. It is 15 by about 5 3/8. So it's about 15 by a little over 5. It is pretty straight. It's not bent up. Has a few extra holes in it, but overall, it really looks great. No problem, Zach. Appreciate it. Leo at 60. Chiefs win, says Gary. Okay, glad to know that. Appreciate you throwing that up there. I guess the Chiefs win tonight. So this thing looks awesome. Kind of like Matt's 18 plate. Yep. I love these early plates. Let's get this thing on the timer. I've got Leo at 60 on the 1923 Kansas plate. Alex at 65. Just about to the 1 minute mark. Alex at 65 is my high bidder. I don't think I got any Colorado plates. I tried to buy some, but I don't think I got any Colorados, Justin. 1 minute's gone. 1 minute left to go. $94 is not a county number. 23, yes, I think 23 had county numbers. I would have to double check that and see. I don't think I got any Idahos. A minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 65 on the 1923 Kansas. Coming down to the wire, Alex at 65. That's a great plate for 65. Coming down to the wire, a few seconds left to go. Leo 66, big job at 70. And that does it. Big job at 70. Alex came back with an 80, but it was too late. Time for a Hudson badge and an Auburn badge. What the heck? Let's go. All right, what's next? How about another hubcap? Another really cool hubcap. I think this is like 30s era. I think like for a wire wheel, I'm not sure. It's kind of an odd size. It is it's got a very clean stamping in it. It looks pretty decent. It's got dings and dents. But like I said, I think it's probably close to 90 years old. No Weston, no toys tonight, actually, unless we keep going and I dig some more stuff out. The stuff I have set up for tonight, there's no toys, but I've got a mountain over there yet, too, depending on what we decide to do when we get through these last few items I've got laid out for tonight. This Plymouth cap, though, looks really cool. Check this thing out. I said I think this is 30s era. It's not a grease cap size, but it's not like a full wheel cover size either. It is 6.5 in diameter. So 6.5 across. It is a metal base, steel base where it's snapped on. Another bonus drawing. Yeah, we'll catch one of those here in a little bit, Tony. It's got some dings, some scratches. Nut farm at 50, but boy, where the Plymouth is stamped in these rings, all super clear. That's what I thought. Alex agrees it is for a wire wheel. That's what I was thinking. Great looking piece. Nut farm at 50. Let's get this thing boogieing on the timer. And we are live with a nut farm at 50. Justin says it's a 35 Plymouth. Sam's here with us. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute's gone. 1 minute left to go. The Nut Farm came out swinging. So we'll see what's going to happen here. He may have knocked her out of the park right out of the gate with that $50 bid, but we're going to find out here in about 50 seconds. So. Alex at 55. There's the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left to go. The Nut Farm at 60. Coming down to the wire, Nut Farm at 60. Few seconds left. Any other bids out there? And that does it. Nut Farm at 60. All right, who's ready for another killer grease cap? We're going to get another plate, a couple more grease caps, then we'll see where we're at. Mike says hit the like button. Appreciate that. I love these grease caps. This is another one that just the font, the age and everything just really makes this thing stand out. On this Whippet. Check out that beauty. It's got some dings over here, some scratches over here. But right here on the money shot, the Whippet is just crystal clear. It's got a little bit of dirt and a little bit of grime. It almost kind of helps make it pop a little bit more. You see these lines out here around the outside perimeter. 2 nubs in here where you could put a wrench to get it to spin off since there's no hex on this one. Yeah, that's a great looking piece. Threaded on the back as always. Whip it good. That's right. Let me give you a dimension on this thing. It is about 4 inches in diameter on this whip it cap. Leo's already planning on it being a sniper piece. And it's only about 1.5 inches deep. So about 4 inches in diameter on the whip it cap. Great font. Just a nice looking shot. Nut Farm kicking this one off at 50. Nut Farm's coming out swinging. So we're live. We're on the timer. Just a great looking piece. Nut Farm starting us off at 50. Nut Farm just coming out swinging right out of the gate, slowing a lot of this down. But then Alex comes right back at 55. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. There's 1 minute past, 1 minute left to go. Alex at 55 on the whip it cap. Nut Farm at 60. And there's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds left is gone. 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 60. Coming out of the end, Nut Farm at 60. Any other bids hiding out there with a few seconds left? And that does it. Nut Farm at 60. Alex came back at 63, but it was a little bit too late. All right, let's catch another plate. I know we're a little heavy on plates and grease caps tonight, but I want to get some of them out there and give you guys a sampling of what's coming because there's a lot of great stuff coming. We're going to have a Hudson badge, an Auburn badge here real quick. Before we get to the next plate, another great looking plate. One of the long, narrow, skinny ones from 1936, and it's a truck plate. T stands for truck, 79 was the county. Plate number 116, Kansas, 1936, kind of Harley-Davidson type colors. Backside looks pretty good as well. Still has a lot of paint on the backside. These are about 14 and a half by 4 3/8 on these. The Kansas used this size in the mid-30s. They were kind of a longer, skinnier, narrower type plate. This one is all original. Does have some chipping and use. Does have a few extra holes in it. But still, it sure looks pretty good considering it is almost 90 years old. It's flat. It's not bent up, twisted, tweaked. It still looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling on the 1936 Kansas truck plate. And we're live on the timer and rolling. Alex at 25, Austin at 10, but I have Alex at 25. Nut Farm's going to need intervention. Yeah, I know the feeling. I've got boxes of grease caps we've gathered up over the years. So, okay, we got ads coming. I'm stopping the timer right now. I just got a note ads inserted that I can't stop. So, timer is shut off until you guys give me the all clear. Okay, you guys are starting. Some of you guys are starting to come back. We're going to give it a few more seconds, since that does have a tendency to knock some people off. I want to get everybody a second to get back on. So, if we're good, we're going to go ahead and get rolling here. Okay, we're at 24 seconds, and I've got Alex at 25. So we're at 24 seconds. I've got Alex at 25, and I'm going to restart the timer. So at least that one hit early in the auction. We're back going again. Alex at 25 on the 1936 plate. Leo at 27. Tweedledee at 35. Or 30, excuse me. Oh, Tweedledee at 35. Tony at 30. They popped up right there. Tweedledee at 35. So Oklahoma can use year of manufacturer plates too. That's cool. Kansas does that as well. Leo at 45. One minute is gone. 1 minute left to go. Leo at 45. And there's the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 is gone. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 45. Just about ready to wrap it up. Leo at 45. And that does it. Leo at 45. I've not run into that some counties allow restored plates and some don't. I don't know what the actual law is on that, but that is very interesting, Mike. I have not heard that. Of course, I don't tag my stuff. I got D tags, but I have not heard that they don't allow restored plates in some states. Or in some counties, excuse me. All right, let's catch one more grease cap, and then we'll see where we're at for tonight. We've had a few of these in the past, and they're great little pieces. This one's kind of whammoed on the side, but the front part where you see it, the money shot, still looks great on this cute little star cap. Literally got a star right on it. This is a smaller cap. It is a fairly early one. It is threaded on the back. It is damaged and cracked on this side. It's 2 1/4 in diameter. Inch and 5/8 tall. No wording on this one. It basically just has a star on it. I mean, that's all there is the star. It's got the hex shape to it. Tony's starting us off at 10. And it's got some age and wear to it. But there again, kind of what gives it its character. So Tony started us off at 10. Let's get this thing rolling. Any toys? I can do some digging here in just a minute. Let's wrap this up. And if you guys want to do a couple more things, I'll go digging through the tub and see what I've got over there real quick. X-Ray Dean at 15. Leo at 20. Too early to stop now. Michael at 18 over here, but I've already got Leo at 20 on YouTube. Michael at 22. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. Tony at 24 with 1 minute left to go. Cowboy Fans Hub cover. There you go. Leo at 23. I've already got Tony at 24. A minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Tony at 24. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Tony at 24. Any other last second bids in there? And that gets it. Tony at 24 on the cute little star. All right. What else do we want to do? Somebody said something about toys. If you guys want to do a few more things, we can sure do them. I got plenty of stuff in here. Let me look real quick. Any mobile stuff? Mobile 30s plates. I got one more 30s plate I can see. Let's see what I got. All right, I found some toys. Still ain't got buggy step. Was that one? I was on ship. Did I have one on the way to you, Randall? Because everything's been shipped. Any more cans? Oh, we haven't got it. It doesn't. Okay, you haven't won a buggy step yet. Let's grab one of those two. What the heck? All right, let's get a couple more things here. Couple of Ford things. Since it was actually, let's see what. Let's get it. See if we got. Okay, let's get a few more things squeezed in here. That's awesome. Super appreciate American Rod Shop sharing the link for this. That's great. And there again, I can't thank you guys enough for spreading the word about what we're doing here and helping grow it that way. So, Okay. This toy, actually there's a couple pieces to it, has been in the box for months. I've been debating on whether I should sell it or not. A couple of you guys asked for a toy. I'm going to throw this thing in here and we're going to sell it. It's one I've really been debating about, but we're going to go ahead and let her fly. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, since I'm going to go ahead and sell it. This is a Japanese tin U-Haul trailer station wagon. This thing is really cool. I hope it brings something, because I would hate to give it away for nothing, because I like it. It is friction. I think on the back it's intact. Interior is just a flat piece of tin that's painted to look like an interior. Leo at 20. It is about 5.5 inches long. Now, it has a trailer hitch because it needs a U-Haul. Now, I believe this U-Haul trailer goes with it because it has the blue font and the same type of font, but there's no hitch or wheels on that one. So I'm going to throw in this trailer so you've got a base with a hitch and the wheels. You're going to get it all. It's been in the box for months. I couldn't decide what to do with it. You guys wanted a toy tonight. I'm going to sell it to you. Dean at 25, you're getting the whole shooting match, which I hate to sell because it is so cool, but we're going to let her fly. There it is, the U-Haul wagon, 2 U-Haul trailers, one-shot deal. Michael at 35, and let's get this thing on the timer and see what happens. Michael at 35 on Facebook. Leo at 37. Tony at 40. Tony at 40 is my high bidder right now on the whole handful. Both trailers, so you can use this trailer or you can use this one with the different font similar to the car and use the base and the wheels off of this one to make it complete. Of course, then if you buy this, then you got to find another one so you have another set. So Michael at 43. 1 minute has passed. 1 minute left to go on the super cool little U-Haul station wagon and trailers. Now you guys can see why I've been debating on whether or not I should sell it. Coming up on the minute 30 mark, they're selling number one. I'm selling them. I told you guys I'd sell them. Just don't make me feel bad. Hit the minute 30 mark, a little under 30 seconds left. Michael at 43. Nut Farm at 45. They got to be worth $50, though. I can't see how they're not. But we're not quite there, and we're just about down to the wire with a few seconds left to go. Sam at 46. Big Job at 55, and that does it. X-Ray Dean came in at 51. Big Job had it at 55, right at the 159 mark. Big Job at 55. And they are super cute little deals, so. Okay, I got a can, a step, and another piece out here. This is a composite can, but what I love about this, aviation. Phillips 66 aviation motor oil, the big blue V on it, the Phillips logo. No barcode, so this is probably 70s era. Drained. Actually, there's no holes in it. There's no holes in this thing. Maybe it's a new can. I seriously do not see any holes in this can. Type A, grade 80, SAE 40. Phillips 66 aviation motor oils on the back. So anybody like this one? I love any Av cans. So, but I don't see any bids. So maybe you guys don't like it since it's composite and it's too new. Austin at 10. Let's go ahead and roll with it. Alex at 15. On the Phillips 66 aviation, it's weird. There is literally no holes in it. I thought there might have been a pinhole down here around the perimeter. I ran my pin around it. I can't find anything. It's light as air. There you go. That's it. Number one got it. It just happens to be light as air. But a good-looking can. Dennis at 27. Bluetooth can. Yep. Phillips Petroleum Company, Bartlesville, Oklahoma on the back. I'm kind of baffled now, though, actually. Unless it's just a new can that never got filled. I don't know. Sucked it right out. Dennis at 27. One minute is gone. 1 minute left to go. It's evaporated oil. Just add water. There you go. It is a mystery oil. Dennis at 27. We're here all night. That's right. It might have been a display item. That's another good thought, Mike. A minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go on the Phillips Aviation Quart. About ready to wrap this one up. Dennis at 27 on the Phillips 66 Aviation Quart. Few seconds left to go. And that'll do it. Dennis at 27. There's American Rod Shop. Glad you swung by tonight to hang out and appreciate you sharing the link with your viewers tonight. All right, next piece we're going to do, and we talk about this a lot, guys. If this stuff could really tell a story, what's it seen? Where's it been? What's it done? This next piece that we're going to do is the definition of that. If it could tell, if it could talk what it's seen over the years, who knows? It'd be crazy. Especially when we see some of the other stuff here this is pretty unique, actually. What we've got next is a toolbox. We've done a few of these old tractor toolbox trays. This is actually a toolbox off of a Fordson tractor. It is an all-steel box. This Fordson is embossed into it. It had 2 holes on the back to mount it with. And these washers actually look like these washers have been added. Like it probably broke out over the years, and they had to add these washers to reinforce it. Now, what's really interesting is when we get to the front of this box, Russell Wallner on the front of the box has a name on it. And check out this lock. They literally bent this bolt and checked this thing out. Comes right out. I don't know how you bend something like that to perfection to just go. And it drops right in. So there again, when you talk about the stories, and when we open this thing up, inside, you can't really make it out, but it had more information painted on the inside lid. Leo starting us off at 20. Inside, nothing exciting, just basically an empty box. Does appear to be the original clasp on it because it is riveted onto the top of the box. And looking at the backside, that does appear to be original. Sam at 22. You close it up. You take your perfectly bent bolt and slide it right in. Let me give you the size on this thing so you know what we're talking about. Jose, what's your thought on building the Classics historical title paperwork? The only way you can legally do them is sell them as historical, sell them for like display purposes, like some of the really early stuff that can't be used anymore. Anything that's halfway current, there's no way you can do it. I've got some really early stuff that's filled out that just, it's cool to have it because it's like a Star or a Durant or some weird car like that, but that's all they can be used for is display purposes. It's 11 1/4 long, so it's 11 1/4 long, and it is a little over 4 wide. So it's a little over 4, and I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Yeah, a little over 4 deep as well. So there you have it, the Fordson tractor toolbox, the Nut Farm at 30. There again, talk about something that would have a story to tell. Let's get this thing boogieing. I've got the Nut Farm at 30. Sam at 31. I still don't know how they got that bolt bent to slide in there like that. The first time I messed with it, I had a little bit of trouble making sure I could get it snaked out of there, but it works perfectly. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. 1 minute left to go. Sam at 31. The bolt has no threads. Nope. 4 bolt lock part number. I don't know if they cut it off. I don't know what the deal was. Dean at 33. Nut Farm at 35. Alan has one, and his has the big washers on the back, so maybe that is how they came. Minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Minute 30's gone. Nut Farm at 35. Leo at 37. Ads. Hold on. Stop. Nut Farm at 40. We've got ads. Dirty's back, so let's give everybody a few seconds here to make sure we're back. Okay, looks like we're good. All right, we're going to give this a little bit of time yet. It was just about to end, so we're going to give it like another 20 seconds. So if you're thinking, if you want to put a bid in on here, now's the time to get it ready. Yeah, Scott, we're going to do a quick magazine tonight, but I don't have a ton in the magazine, so this works out well that they wanted to do a few other auction pieces. But yeah, we do. I do have a magazine as well. All right, I've got Randall, the Nut Farm at 40. We're going to go about 20 more seconds in case somebody's got a bid out there they want to throw in. So let's go ahead and go. We're live on the timer. 20 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 40. I'm giving you a few extra seconds in case there's something hung up from the ads. Michael at 43. And that'll do it. Michael at 43. So I hope that didn't screw anybody up too bad. All right. That was a neat piece. All right, let's catch a buggy step. We haven't done one of those yet tonight. And this is a cool one. It's a small one, but it has a name cast into it. The Staunton Wagon Company. Check this thing out. It's a low drop. The name's cast right into it. The square part of it is about 3.5 by 3.5 roughly. The peak down here is a little bit different, but basically 3.5 by 3.5. Nut farm at 40, 2-bolt base. It is a shorter drop, only a couple of inch drop on this particular buggy step, but a pretty cool one. Nut farm at 40. Let's get this thing going on the timer. Amish running board. That's exactly right. Leo at 45. Nut farm at 50. Any Floyd Clymer books? Nope, no Floyd Clymer books tonight. Nut farm at 50. And we're rolling on this one. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Nut farm's got to get one. Yeah, and this is a cool one. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Nut farm at 50. Just about ready to wrap it up. Nut farm at 50. And that'll do it. Nut farm gets him a buggy step. Okay, let's catch one more thing. I got one more thing that I've had here for a couple weeks. I want to see what you guys think of it. I had kind of a different idea. We've done some of those jars that I've put different stuff in. So I took another one of these standard jars, like we've had, these glass jars, and I filled it with emblems. Most of these are newer plastic. There's one or two metals. Most of these are plastic. But we got a Buick, a Chevy, an Oldsmobile, a Cadillac, a Pontiac, and even a Saturn. So, I don't know if you guys are going to like that or not, but I wanted to see what you guys thought of it. So, if you like it, I'll try to do something else. We've been having a lot of fun stuffing different things into these jars and selling them. So, the jar is actually BX 8X part number, but whatever it was. That's right, Glenn. Saturn for the win. Leo's going to start us off at 10. Let's go ahead and roll on this thing. On the jar full of miscellaneous GM emblems. Austin at 15. And we're live on the timer. I've got Austin at 15. You get the whole jar full of goodies. like I said, it's fun mixing different things into these. I hope you guys are enjoying it and having fun. Now, standard motor products, tune-up parts. A lot of these had like starter and alternator rebuilt parts in them. They were standard motor products. Kevin at 20. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go. Probably the last piece of the night. We'll squeeze in the magazine after this. Yeah, they are cool jars. That's for sure. Austin at 22. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Dennis at 25. Kevin at 27. Ticking away, coming down to the end. Kevin at 27. A little bit of time left. Austin at 28. Kevin at 30. Austin at 30. I had Kevin first. Austin at 32. And that did it. Austin and Kevin were beating each other up, but Austin at 32 is who I had at the 2 minute mark. All right. I think we all need a few badges after that. All right, that was a ton of fun tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the auction. As always, if you've got any questions, just give me a shout tomorrow, and I'll be happy to walk you through payment or whatever we need to do on that. But moving forward, let's finish up last week's magazine. Not a ton in it, so this will work out well. We had a little extra time tonight, so it worked out perfect. Glad you guys had fun. And let's get in and let's finish up the February 1975 issue of Motor Trend. We even have a few classifieds in the back of the night. We got to be careful. This magazine kind of started falling apart on me as I've been working with it. So it goes with this matchbooks in the other standard jar. Awesome. Glad you guys had fun, and I'm glad you guys are having fun with the auctions. Especially after what I spent last week. I got to get something going here. So awesome that you guys are having, and that's what's great about it. It's cool man cave stuff. I'm just as bad as all of you guys are, so I'm glad to be able to help you guys out with some of your collections. Travis is here with us. Glad you're here tonight, Travis. And let's get into the magazine. A couple articles tonight, some cool ads, and a few classifieds. The first article we're going to check out, Road Test, a comparison between the Starfire V6, which was the Monza-based Starfire by this point, the Volkswagen Scirocco, the Skyhawk, which was also the Monza-based car, a Corolla, the Monza, of course, and the Celica. However, the Monza was a V8 car. Back in the mid-70s, still not a ton of color. This is a feature article, and the pictures are still black and white here. But since this is a road test, it does give us some stats on these cars, as well as performance or complete lack thereof. But it does have a lot of pictures, but they're all black and white. Lots of comments about tonight's auction, which is great, and I super appreciate that. Yeah, it is barely a V8 car. That's true. Now, we've got a whole chart here on specifications on these cars. So we're going to hit some high points on those. I'll read you a few of the high points. Engine, the Skyhawk was a 231 V6. The Monza was and like you said, barely a V8, a 262 V8. Starfire was the 231 as well. The Scirocco and the Toyotas were all 4 cylinders. And we've got to talk about this just because it is literally almost comical. And I totally agree with you, Jose. I love the early Starfires. I think the 62 Starfire, probably one of the best looking cars ever built. So I completely agree with that. But performance data, or as mentioned earlier, complete lack thereof. The quarter mile times for the V6 Skyhawk in 1901. The V8 powered Monza ran an 18 flat. And believe it or not, well, I'm going to see if this is a different transmission. No, they were both automatic. The Starfire with a 231 the Starfire had a 231 V8, believe it or not. That's what it said in here. 1869, the Scirocco 1785, and the Toyotas were both around 20 seconds in the quarter mile. 2005 and 1932. So not exactly rocket ships, but there again, this is in 1975. This is the gas crunch. These people are starting to actually look for economy cars versus the fire-breathing muscle cars. Obviously, that would have been the time to buy everything and rat hole it. Unfortunately, I was only, what year is this magazine? February of 75. I was only 4 months old, so it wouldn't have done me much good. But kind of comical to look back now and about what happened. So, Perfect Austin, sounds great. Yes, we need to do a bonus raffle. Thanks, Austin, for reminding me. I apologize. Somebody else brought that up. I told you we'd get to it after the auctions, and I spaced it off. So, yes, I appreciate you throwing that up, Austin, because somebody else wanted me to do that too. Let's do that real quick. Lee is out for tonight, but let's see what we got now. Matt Williams. So let's grab the other big El Rico can and grab something. That's right, Randall the Nut Farm Pioneer donations. Still got to get to Pioneer Village. I'm still working on that trip. Every time I've tried, everything just hasn't worked. Please remember, these do ship with your next shipment. These do not ship individually on these bonus drawings. All right, we got Matt's name on this one. Let's see what we've got in here. The more money we raise for Pioneer Village, the more we can help out with that amazing collection. If you've not seen the Pioneer Village videos, I've got a playlist on the channel specifically for Pioneer Village. Let's check this out, see what we've got for Matt. If I can get it out of here. Got it in there a little too good. Another one of the little cereal box cars. This one's a Thunderbird. About a 59 T-Bird, the little cereal box cars from the 60s. So, we'll tuck that one away for Matt. Get that in with his next shipment. And, as always, right back into the can on the bonus drawings. All right. Let's keep moving with the magazine. Thanks for reminding me on that, guys. I appreciate that. I forgot and messed up. Shopcat's here with us. Another issue, obviously, like we talked about, or not a new issue, but another thing that was happening at the time with all the fuel economy issues, everybody had a different idea on fuel economy. This one was kind of a little bit different. The hydro catalyst. Amidst the storm of controversy surrounding aftermarket fuel savers, this device may have a calming effect, which obviously we know at this point didn't work either. But of all the devices claiming to improve gasoline mileage that surfaced during the past year and a half, probably the single most controversial one is a device called the Hydro Catalyst, made by the Hydro Catalyst Corporation. It looks like nothing more than a very thick carburetor-based gasket with a couple of cone-shaped wire screens inserted pointing downward into the holes for the carb throats. And in the case of a 4-barrel Hydro Catalyst, the screens are only fitted in the holes for the primary barrels. There are also a couple of thin metal strips emanating from the sides of the base material. It looks rather bizarre. Nonetheless, the Hydro Catalyst is actually a product of almost 20 years of research and development by its inventor, Byron Hicks, a former oil company research engineer who also confesses to being a full-time automotive enthusiast. The project started back in the 50s when Hicks was trying to find a way to reduce the carbon deposits inside the chambers of his Oldsmobile without actually going to the trouble of removing the heads and scraping it out. After research and subject in various technical libraries, Hicks began experimenting with a crude wire screen device called a pre-combustion catalyst, since it was supposed to affect the mixture of gasoline and air before it reached the combustion chamber. Following some early successes and the issuance of a patent for his device, Hicks tried to interest the auto industry in his findings, but to no avail. Further development continued, along with numerous independent laboratory tests that all indicated some success in both altering the carbon formation in the chambers and improving gas mileage as well. And as emissions become an important hot topic of conversation, Hicks learned that his device would also substantially reduce the CO2 emissions and could also reduce HC lightly without causing an increase in NOx emission levels. And basically all this amounted to was, like they just described, a screen to help break up, or like I told you, things falling apart. I got to be careful here. To help basically kind of atomize the fuel air mixture. Now, obviously, whether this never actually did take off. And even if it would have, there again, we're in 1975. Obviously, a lot of work already going on with fuel injection. And 10 years later, basically everything was fuel injected. So yeah, you're right, Leo. And that's why we do this. That's why we look at these old magazines. We learn all this weird stuff sometimes that they were experimenting with, trying, and what was going on in the car industry at that point. Speaking of which, man, I got a magazine we're going to get into. We're only going to do it in different segments. It's about this thick. So it's going to take, several weeks, and we probably won't do it every week. We'll mix it up a little bit, but it is so cool, and it is super early. Oldest magazine we've ever done by far. And I'll make try to start on it next week. It's going to be awesome. Another article, once again, on fuel economy. What'll she do? This question used to refer to a car's top speed. These days, it refers to mileage. Union Oil set out to get the answer. The fuel economy test. Obviously, multiple companies ran these over the years. This actually does give us some specifications as well. We see a Pontiac Grand Prix starting off on its run here in the first picture of the road test. Which is great. I love the fact that you guys say you learn something when we do this, because I'm learning as well. We're all learning together, and that's what makes it cool. Except this entire magazine is falling apart, so I've got to be so careful. But it does give us a lot of specs. So we'll catch some of those specs here real quick. It's a big chart, so there's no way to see it all, but I'll read a few of the high points to you. If you think of something from that area you're curious about, let me know. I'll see if it's on here. But it actually gives you the car's weight, because obviously that has a big effect, so that you were comparing comparable cars to comparable cars. Like it starts off with the lighter cars in, say, the weight range of 2,876 to 3,250 pounds, Mustang 2s, Pintos, Gremlins, Vegas. And it compares those cars, tells you the size of the engines, as well as what they got during an urban cycle, a suburban cycle, and an interstate cycle, compared to the EPA estimate. And then it goes up to like the bigger cars, the Buick Electra, the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, the Chrysler New Yorker Brougham. It's comparing like type cars. Now, even back then, you look at, say, the lighter cars, the Gremlins, the Vegas. You know, those were estimated to be around 20 miles per gallon. And they got, according to this test, mid-20s on the highway and upper teens in town. So that should have been fairly accurate. But we see this huge swing. All right, Nut Farm, I don't blame you. You're getting close. You're getting thirsty. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, ads are coming. I can shut these down, though. All right, got those. When we get into the big cars, the Impala wagon, the New Yorkers, the LTDs, the Continentals, literally 10 and 11 in town and 14 and 15 on the highway. And you got to remember, we're in 1975. These were still big cars. The late 70s, they did start scaling and then back a little bit, but this was still the big cars. Still 455s in Buick, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile. I think Cadillac still had a 500 at this point. Chrysler still had a 440 in some of these big cars. So this was the end of those big engines. And these fuel economy numbers were very clear about that. You could definitely see that in these fuel economy numbers. So there again, kind of an interesting thing. Still a hot topic today. And we still see a lot of these companies getting fined for, putting out data, whether it's emissions, whether it's fuel economy, that doesn't seem to be able to be met in a real world environment. So obviously this is nothing new. It's been going on for decades and will probably always go on, to be honest with you. I don't think that as long as the government's involved, I don't think this type of stuff will go on forever. One more thing I wanted to catch real quick. Brokaw's beat, Jim Brokaw reporting. I don't know if this was Tom Brokaw's brother or what. But performance news, racing. Alan, I was 19 and 75 and outside of the Trans Am without the car world had come to an end. Yeah. And you're right. By 75, Trans Am was literally about the only thing left. Even the Z28s were getting weaker. But Trans Am, even in 76, you could get a 455 4-speed all the way up to 76. So, but Brokaw's beat, this is kind of interesting. NASCAR. And there's not a lot of pictures here, but I want to try to show you this one if we can, just because we can see these old 70s cars in their performance livery. A hand in the cookie jar. Just in case you slept through November, Bobby Allison won the Times 500 at Ontario Motor Speedway. And the Coca-Cola, this is another thing I had to read you. Bobby Allison won the Times 500 at Ontario Motor Speedway. This is something you're not going to hear again. In the Coca-Cola Matador. Not a car we hear a lot about in NASCAR ever. This marked the first circle track victory for the Matador. This also marked the first time Roger Penske, car owner of the AMC Stalker, got caught cheating. NASCAR nailed the Dapper team boss with a $9,100 fine for running illegal roller tappets in their 355 cubic inch mill. It may have struck you just as it struck me that this is a most unusual occurrence for Mr. Penske to get caught with his hand in the cookie jar. When he knew the winning car would be torn down for inspection, roller tappets stand out like a bride at a shotgun wedding. It turns out Roger wasn't really cheating. The man himself allowed us how they were just getting competitive. It says we didn't run roller tappets. We ran a stock lifter that was modified. It has a pin in the side of it. The block is grooved, and it's set up for a small roller bearing. It didn't have the rev kit, small positioning spring that a roller tappet has. So the way it reads, the factory had a very similar setup, and he got slapped for being illegal. But I still thought it was just, that's the only time I've ever read that somebody won a NASCAR race in an AMC Matador. Shopcat has the Allison Matador kit. I didn't know they made them. There again, I didn't know they made a model kit of the Matador NASCAR. But there again, something we don't even think about in today's world about Matadors as race cars back then. Even when we look back and think about that time period, we don't think about Matadors in NASCAR. But anyway, just had to bring that up. Thought that was really great. Let's catch a few ads and then catch a few of these classifieds, and we'll be about ready to wrap things up for tonight. The first ad that we want to catch, nice full color ad. Look what Oldsmobile hatched. 2 sporty new hatchbacks, the Omega and the Starfire. Obviously, the Omega, the same body as the Nova from that era, and the Starfire, the same thing as the Monza. Hatchback styling, kind of a fairly common deal in the 70s, but and that's another good point, Mike. We don't think about the Matadors a lot, period. So that's a great point, actually, Mike. And the back part of this is falling apart, so I'm just going to hold this page up. For the Motorama Cars of the Stars Museum, Hollywood's newest and most exciting attraction, Cars of the Stars. See over 50 famous Hollywood movie and television cars. Cars of the Stars Movieland Cavalcade by George Barris, king of the customizers. A film world collection valued at $2 million, open year-round. See Bonnie and Clyde's movie death car, the Batmobile, the Munsters coach. I don't remember if the Matador was on the cover. There was an AMX on the cover recently. Last round of shoveling for the night. Holy cow, that sucks, number one. And, of course, we want to catch the back cover. The inside of the back cover, the Gabriel Red Ryder shocks. I bet some of you guys probably remember these no matter how tough the territory. Gabriel's Red Ryder is a true heavy-duty shock that's at home in any territory, no matter how tough the going. Red Ryder is built to take it and give back a safe, comfortable ride. The Gabriel Red Ryder shocks. And one more thing, just for fun, just because we do some of these, just because it's a sign of the times, not necessarily because that has anything to do with cars, but it is a sign of the times. If I'm going to smoke, I'm going to do it right. Winston's. Check this dude out. If I'm going to smoke, I'm going to do it right. There again, sign of the times. Obviously, nothing we would ever see in today's world. Sam had some Gabriel hijackers. Pete remembers it. And that's what's great about doing this. It takes us back and it reminds us of some of this stuff. But I thought this was great. Some people smoke a brand for its image. I don't. You can't taste image. Smoke for taste. Smoke Winston. All Winston will ever give you is real taste and real pleasure. For some of us, that's enough. Winston is for real. That's like just so crazy. And a couple of classifieds. Back then, Motor Trend, you had to, if you sent in a catchy ad, they would run your classified. So some of these ads are kind of catchy. There's only a handful of them, so there's just a few of them that we want to catch. But and it's just one page, which is also falling out. So this is what we're going to be checking out. Is that a turbine car, Daddy? No, Sonny, it's an Edsel. A 59 Edsel Ranger 4-door sedan with new tires, new exhaust, new shocks all around, and a new set of brake shoes. Impress your friends with this relic of the Sputnik era. It's all yours for a mere $850 on the 59 Edsel. And meanwhile, in Connecticut, Andy Warhol, where are you when we need you? The ad reads, not the first compact, but at least the first one with any style. Remember the bathtub Metro? The 1952 Willys Aero 4-door, $1,500, 64,000 miles, original paint, factory service manual, sales brochure. First reply gets outgrown slacks for free. Son of a HUD, a nicer special interest car you'll probably never see. This relatively rare 1946 Hudson Commodore Club Coupe is one of only 5 listed in the Hudson Essex Terraplane Club's register of 2,500 cars. $2,000 is all I'm asking for the prize winner. Price includes a manual and some spare parts. So, kind of some cool things. No really cool muscle cars, but kind of some catchy ads. I still love the Willys Aero sedan. Not the first small car, but the first one that looks decent, according to the owner. Dirty I remember a doctor telling my dad to smoke Winston if he wasn't going to quit because they didn't add anything to the Winston cigarettes in those days. Holy cow. There again, something you would never hear today. And that's true. Winston was definitely heavily involved in racing back then. Winston Drag Racing, Winston Cup. Winston sponsored everything in motorsports back then. So there's a few classifieds. I'm going to tuck this thing away before it falls apart any further. And that will wrap up the February 1975 issue of Motor Trend with the cute little pacer on the front. I don't think the nicotine was optional. I think it was in there. So glad you guys had fun with the magazine as well. And what else is coming up next week? I've got, I think, one more Jim Wicks video from Meekum that we need to get up. I've still got a handful of videos from my buddy's yard. Some great comments on the magazine. I appreciate that, guys. Glad you guys enjoyed it. I've got 4 or 5 new inventory videos yet we need to get up. So we'll have some of that coming up. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Obviously, I have not picked up any cars in the last couple weeks. I need to, but I have not picked anything up. The weather has just been so crappy that truck has not even moved. But I do need to get going on some of that and get some stuff picked up. Like I said, I've got several cars here we haven't shared with you yet. So I will definitely be getting some of those up and hopefully get some more stuff drug in and get some more content shot for you guys. Obviously, the Pioneer Village trip is still on the books. I've just got to get a couple days where it works. Like I said, I've tried about 3 or 4 times, and every time it just didn't come together. But it is still definitely on my agenda. We're definitely going to take that money up there that you guys donated and sponsor some cars, help out with the renovations of an absolutely amazing place, the Harold Wart Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. So we'll see how we can make that work. But and we'll definitely get some content while we're up there doing it. So anyway, I think that pretty much wraps things up for me tonight. As always, I appreciate you spending your Sunday evening with me. Had a great time with you guys. We had a blast with the auction. Perfect, Kevin. Sounds great. And Hope you guys like the tags and the grease caps. We got a lot more cool ones to go on those, as well as the other cool stuff I've got for the auction. Since the weather's been so crappy, we've been doing so much of this auction stuff and having so much fun with it that in the back corner of the shop, I've got the steps that go up to my deck. That area was, one, it was a mess, and two, it's kind of wasted space with the steps and stuff there. You can't really get a car in there. So I actually cleaned all that out. And 72 tag. Okay, I got to try to find a 72 tag. And I'm actually putting shelves back there just so I can sort cans, plates, toys, emblems, all this stuff for auctions, raffle stuff. I'm literally setting that section up for this stuff because I've got so much of it. These, of course, with all the auctions I've been hitting this fall, I've hit 6 or 8 auctions. I've got a lot of stuff stacked up. I just got to get it sorted so that I can go through it, see what I need for my collection, what I can add to your guys' collection. Great, Michael. Appreciate it. Inspiration from my 579 license plates. I don't know if that was inspiration or ignorance. It could go either way. We'll see. So let's see. Lots of kind comments. As always, I appreciate it. You guys are very, very supportive of what we do here, and you always have a lot of nice words. But without you guys, it wouldn't be anything. So, thanks to all you guys for being here, supporting it. And, number one's great about sharing it around, brought American Rod Shop over, that spread it around a little more. So I appreciate that. Like I said, if you can't get to the Arizona auctions this week, be sure there's going to be plenty of TV coverage and internet coverage you can keep up with. Should be an interesting week. We'll see what happens. Definitely going to be rooting for our good friend Jim Wicks. Hopefully his cars break the bank. And he has a good weekend down there. And with that, I'm going to get wrapped up here. Tuesday night, we're going to do some Toy Tuesday with a viewer box without a box. Because Alex brought me some cool stuff I want to share with you guys. Dan's here with us. Hope everything goes good, Dan. We'll all be pulling for you. Got to get some sleep. Been in the hospital since Monday. Well, hope everything went well with your surgery, Dan. Glad you got to jump on and hang out with us for a while tonight. And we'll all keep our fingers crossed for a speedy, quick recovery for you as well. So, thanks for being here, everybody. Everybody being here tonight. The Johnny Carson comments still to this day baffles me that you even consider what we do here. That type of, that we're doing that decent of a job. And I thank you for those kind comments. I do try to do a good job for you guys, but sometimes it's a little rough. I know I'm not that great at it, but we keep working on it. So that being said, I'm going to sign off. We'll see you all Tuesday night for some Toy Tuesday. You can check out all the goodies that Alex brought me. We'll get some more content up this week. And we'll be right back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat station, for some more Sunday night live chat. I've got all those piles to sort through. We'll have some more license plates, some more grease caps, some more oil cans, toys, brochures, emblems. Man, we didn't really do many emblems. I got a bunch of emblems over there. We're going to have a great week next week as well. So keep my fingers crossed that our weather, at least in my area, does stay, gets above freezing every day this week. In fact, they're saying maybe even close to 50s by the end of the week. So definitely looking forward to that. The way these last couple of weeks have been, it's been absolutely miserable here. And I know you guys up north of me have had it even worse than that. So hoping for a good week. I hope all of you guys have a great week. We'll see some of you Tuesday night. We definitely hope to see all of you back here next Sunday night at 7 o'clock for some more Sunday night live chat. And have a great week, everybody. Thanks for watching.